Morning everybody, how are y'all doing today? I'm doing great myself because you know what, the last video I uploaded is doing incredibly well, way better than I expected, so thank you all so much for that. And I was afraid that would have been the end of the Redfall assault, but you know what, I think I can milk this Redfall drama a little bit more. Because today we're going to be taking a look at this video where this guy just completely denies that there's anything wrong with the game. And don't worry, I will be including clips from my own stream to prove him wrong. Now, I feel like I need to make this very apparent, and I know I'm going to repeat myself later, but I do not have a problem with the fact that this guy enjoys the game. At times, I actually enjoyed the game myself, but when you're going to flat out ignore the problems and say, oh, well, I haven't experienced it, so it doesn't exist, that's a problem. So yeah, without further ado, let's go ahead and get right into this.
It's Teebs. So, I decided to play Redfall. The only reason I decided to play Redfall was to see how bad the game actually was. So I hopped in that bad boy, and after an hour of playing it, I was like, okay, hold on, let me actually focus and see what's bad about this game. And then I played another 6 hours, and I was like, okay, what's going on here? I was genuinely trying to force myself to hate this game because of the reviews.
No. You should never try to force yourself to hate a game because of bad reviews. If you genuinely enjoy a game that's mostly hated, then good for you. It's awesome that you can enjoy something that a lot of other people can't. But again, what you cannot ignore is all the blatant issues with the game. Like, I'll use myself as an example. I really enjoyed Call of Duty Vanguard. I put like 200 hours in. But I knew the game was absolute hot garbage. I never denied that. I would have been an idiot if I did. You can like something and still acknowledge all its flaws, which unfortunately you do not do a whole lot of in this video.
However, fortunately, I'm someone who forms my own opinions. And my own opinion is that the game is absolutely fun. There's people saying that the game is broken and it's not complete. How is that possible? And I will absolutely admit that the game's performance is not the best. However, I get a great frame rate, but every like 10 minutes or so, the game bogs down super hardcore and lags real hard. But hey, it is what it is. I play on PC.
How is it possible? Well, let me show you how it's possible. Roll the clip.
I think it's fun here, folks.
Yep, I think that's a pretty safe assumption. Oh my god, the frame rate! It's gone! I'm actually running like 2 FPS.
Jesus, nope.
Oh my, I can't. I don't know what the stream is gonna look like, but oh my god.
This is so cheap.
Oh my, I don't know how it's running for you, but oh.
Keep in mind, all the clips you guys are going to see from me happened live. This isn't like stuff we set up or anything. This genuinely happened live, and I had other people in the chat and in the game with me experiencing this as well. But my guy, I just have to know, were you like running this game at all minimum settings or something like that? You're saying the performance wasn't too bad for you until like every 10 minutes or so, and then it would get really bad. So I can only assume you're on low because I see in your description it says you have a 1080. Meanwhile, I have a 3070, and anytime a mini boss shows up, instantly the game just dies. But even if your frame rate is fine most of the time, if every 10 minutes you're having really bad issues, that is not a complete game. And don't worry, I will talk about like the empty open world and all the other ways the game is incomplete because he does talk about that later on. But honestly, this whole argument gives me heavy vibes of those people back when Cyberpunk first came out who claimed that they were running the game just fine with no issues. And it's like, okay, good for you, but most people are having really bad issues. Anyway, let's continue on.
I've had 0 graphic bugs. I haven't fell through the map. I haven't died randomly. I haven't had any physics issues. Everything works as it is intended.
So running at 2 FPS when you see a mini boss is working as intended. Is this next clip that I'm about to show working as intended? Roll the clip.
Hollow Man, what the hell?
Hollow Man?
That's not, wait.
Scare me, it'll take more than
Oh god. The draw distances on the trees. Oh my god. Are you guys seeing it? Look at this. Back up. Oh, gone. Jesus Christ, that draw distance is terrible.
Are you really gonna sit here and tell me that that is working as intended? Or again, the frame rate issues I just showed earlier? And also the issues like the physics ones and the dying randomly ones and falling through the map that you just described, that's not what people are complaining about. The graphical issues and frame rate issues are very much there, as well as the problems he's about to describe right here that he doesn't see as an issue.
I think there was a lot of creative decisions that were made that people just don't like. Everyone's saying the game is dead. There's no one around. Yeah, bro. The world got attacked by vampires. No duh. And we're talking vampires. Not freaking zombies where there's people everywhere. It's vampires, bro. They ain't just chilling in the streets, man. They're off somewhere weird in a basement sucking someone's blood out, man.
That doesn't make for a good gameplay experience though. When you have an open world, it needs to be full of stuff. It doesn't matter if, oh, it's a creative decision or whatever. That creative decision is at the detriment of gameplay and immersion. Even if from the story perspective, it makes sense from a gameplay perspective, it's extremely boring and makes the world feel dull. And even from the story perspective, you could so easily make it so that, oh, the vampires are out patrolling looking for survivors. I don't know, something like that. Just don't make the world so dead and boring. The story should not hinder the world in gameplay. This would be like if in Elden Ring, you could only use the weapons that were suited for your starting class. Like if you chose the Vagabond class, you're just not allowed to use any magic ever. Sure, it makes sense based off the character you started with, but it's at the detriment of gameplay and customization. In fact, something I just thought of that they could have done that would have made the open world way more interesting. What about world events? I'm pretty sure there's not any of those in the game right now. That would make it so much more fun. You should not just have to get the fun and excitement out of doing main story quests. If you're gonna go open world, there better be stuff to do in it.
Pick up a quest, go do the quest, and you find enemies. It's not that hard. The ambience in the game is absolutely disturbing for me. It's so good. I played Dead Island 2. However, Redfall has given me ridiculous goosebumps whenever I'm doing missions and stuff. The game is super fun, man. No one that could change my opinion on that, because every day I get home from work, I want to play Redfall.
Yes, you can find enemies by doing the quests. There is no doubt about that. And yes, I do understand there are like those vampire nest things. Those are pretty cool. I do enjoy those a lot. But it's not enough to have like the vampire nests in the main quest. And I think there may have been one other thing and that's it. Stuff actually needs to be happening in the world. It really doesn't feel like your actions have an effect on the world in this game. Like in Elden Ring, when you burn the Erd Tree, it changes the entire aesthetic. There's like ashes falling everywhere. Certain parts of the world get destroyed and rearranged. There's certain things you can only do before and after burning the tree. Oh, and that reminds me of something. Don't quote me on this, but I'm pretty sure you cannot reload into your world after you've beaten the game. I'm pretty sure it forces you into New Game Plus. Don't quote me on that. I might be wrong. I don't know because I uninstalled the game the second I finished it. But that's what I've been told from a lot of people and also by doing some research. Honestly, the more I think about the game, the more I wonder why they decided to go open world besides like having that tagline there. If nothing interesting is going to happen in the open world, then why go open world? And I already know somebody's probably going to say something like, oh, well, what about the rook bosses, like the mini bosses that come out when you do enough damage to the vampires or whatever? Yeah, that's kind of cool, but it ultimately doesn't lead to anything. If it was like, oh, eventually you get them so angry that like this secret boss comes out or something like that and you get some crazy loot for it, that would be more interesting. But when you're fighting the exact same guy over and over again, it's not exactly the most thrilling thing.
There's a lot of bad takes on this game. I've watched a lot of reviews, and it's people playing the game for 30 minutes and just saying it's bad. Bro, it takes like probably 5 hours to unlock a lot of the features in the game. I went through a nest, and it was the craziest thing ever. Some crazy supernatural things. I was in like this movie theater, right? And there was like a movie playing turned into an actual location that you could hop through the screen. It was crazy, man.
Yes, the nests are cool, and that movie theater part was extremely cool. But those were the only 2 times in like the entire game where I was like, wow, this is really interesting. I'm impressed by this. There's no doubt there's already some good stuff in Redfall. It's just not enough. And it gets overshadowed by the god-awful performance and visual bugs. I think I actually said this on stream. If they like fix the bugs and fix the frame rate issues and stuff, the game would probably be like a 6 out of 10. But no amount of bug fixes and no high frame rates can fix the empty open world.
I'm still trying to understand how the game is broken and unfinished when the game has the same thing as other looter shooters, and it has even more. It has character customization that you earn through playing the game, which has been requested for many years now. It also has weapon customization, a very small amount, but it does have that.
Well, I think the 2 clips I showed earlier are a pretty good demonstration of how the game is still unfinished. Also, what's this character customization? Oh, you get to pick which character you play as? And there's a skill tree? That's like the 2 most basic possible things you can do. And as for the weapon customization, yes, you can choose different skins for your weapons, which I do think is pretty cool. But ultimately, it's really pointless because it's just cosmetic. There's no like attachment system or anything like that. So yes, you're correct. There is weapon customization, but it's so pointless, I never even used it, and I actually forgot it even existed.
Unfortunately, everyone is comparing this game to another game. I've heard Destiny a few times. Oh, really? Destiny? Oh, the game that launched really horrible, took a couple years to actually get good. Oh, that's the game that you were talking about, and Redfall just launched. So it's like, oh wait, you know, you want Redfall to be 5-year Destiny on launch. Okay, yeah, I understand what you mean. It's just ridiculous.
I don't think anybody was expecting year 5 or 6 Destiny out of this game. I think people were expecting a completed game on launch, which is one of the reasons it's compared to Destiny. They're both looter shooters. They were both extremely unfinished at launch. And just because Destiny took a few years to sort out its problems, that doesn't mean it's okay for Redfall to do the same thing. That's like saying because Sony started charging $70 for their games, it's okay for Microsoft to do it. It's extremely scummy. And one person doing it does not justify another person doing it.
Unfortunately, and I'll give my complete honest opinion at the end of this video right here, the hate train for this game started when they announced that the game would release in quality mode at 30 FPS. And the hate train just continued. I honestly see people playing the game, doing a review, saying how buggy it is, but they're just playing the game and they're not experiencing any bugs or anything. It's crazy.
How do you know they're not experiencing bugs though? Just because they show gameplay where no bugs happen doesn't mean they didn't experience any bugs at all. When you need background gameplay for a game, wouldn't you want to pick the least buggy footage possible so your audience can have the best viewing experience? But to say that, oh, people don't like this game because of a hate train, that's a lie. Yes, there definitely is a hate train, there's no doubt about it. But it's not like it was an unearned hate train or anything. They announced that the game would not have an industry standard 60 FPS, and now the game is even worse than we thought. You can only use the hate train excuse for so long. At some point, you just have to accept that even though you like and enjoy the game, it's still a bad game.
Unfortunately, the popular thing is to just do whatever gets the most views, and that is what is honestly happening right now. But it is what it is. Everyone is demanding perfection at launch, and you're getting a very playable game that is 97% complete. And it's just not good enough. And I fear if we keep this up, we will never actually get a good launch because everyone just thinks it's bad. But yeah, it's been Teebs.
Now he's trying to say that people only don't like the game so they can get views from it. Hear me out, bro. It's just a bad game and people are talking about it. And I can't believe this guy is actually acting like it's a bad thing that we demand a good game at launch. Sure, it might be a bit much to demand perfection. There's always going to be a few bugs that get through or whatever. But this is nowhere near perfection, and this is definitely not 97% complete. In fact, just to prove my point one final time, roll the clip.
Like, I'm playing as the character who can go invisible, and basically I just go invisible, they just forget where I am. Like, look at this. I was right in front of them. I just... oh, okay, she's walking up. Xbox. What the...
I got trouble here.
Oh my god.
I'm sorry, but if that is 97% complete to you, then you just do not have standards. And I guess I'll end the video by echoing what the Actman has said before. I think he said this during his Scarlet and Violet review. It's great if you like the game, but please don't defend it because you deserve better. Even if you like the game, don't defend what's incomplete and broken about it. It's not like Microsoft is gonna throw you a paycheck or something. And ultimately, being a corporate shill is a really bad look. But yeah, anyway guys, that's basically the end of the video. He just does his outro and wraps it up. And really quickly before I go, I just want to know, what would you guys add to or change in Redfall to make it better? I did a poll yesterday where basically I said, oh, if it was linear and it had like a Doom Eternal style thing with like a hub area and stuff, then it would be a much better game. And a lot of people seem to agree with me on that one, but there were a decent amount of people who disagreed as well. So just let me know what changes you would make to make the game a lot better. Because I definitely feel like open world could have worked, but as the game sits right now with the current missions and everything, I do feel like the open world was just pointlessly added on. They just didn't take advantage of it. But yeah, anyway guys, with that being said, thank you all so much for watching. Like the video if you liked it, dislike it if you didn't like it, subscribe if you want to see more, and I will catch you all next time.